On July 11th, 1969, the rocket Apollo 11 launched from Cape Kennedy, Florida, taking astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins to space. Their goal was to land on the surface of the moon, becoming the first men in history to do so. After launch, the Apollo 11 rocket split into two parts. The Columbia, containing Michael Collins, would orbit around the moon, while the Eagle would touch the lunar surface. Unfortunately, the Eagle, carrying both Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, crashed into the surface of the moon. The two men were left alive, yet stranded, with no hope of return. After NASA received news of the crash, their contingency plan went into effect. President Richard Nixon appeared on televisions all across the nation and delivered the following remarks.
Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. These brave men, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, know that there is no hope for their recovery. They will be mourned by their families and friends. They will be mourned by their nation. They will be mourned by the people of the world. They will be mourned by a Mother Earth that dared send two of her sons into the unknown. For every human being who looks up at the moon in the nights to come will know that there is some corner of another world that is forever mankind. Good night.
Except that's not what happens. We all know that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon. The Eagle has landed. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, that kind of stuff. So how was I able to show you a video of Richard Nixon giving his contingency speech in event of moon disaster? I mean, you can see him. You can hear him give the speech. Did I go back in time and sabotage the mission? No, that would be silly. Or did I go to a parallel dimension where the Apollo 11 mission fails? No, this was a deepfake, and it's the dangerous future of misinformation. A deepfake is artificially created media used to simulate people doing or saying things that never actually happened. Whether you know it or not, you've probably seen a deepfake before. In 2011, Marvel released the movie Captain America: The First Avenger, where for the first 20 minutes or so, Steve Rogers is pencil thin. The problem arises, though, that Chris Evans, the actor who plays Steve Rogers, is the opposite of that. So, to have a skinny version of Chris Evans, a body double was used for filming, and Chris Evans' face was added on digitally. Additionally, in 2016's Captain America: Civil War, we see a de-aged version of Robert Downey Jr. In 2017's Star Wars Rogue One, we actually see two deepfakes. One to make a young Princess Leia, and another one to make Tarkin. But that's all from a couple years ago, so let's look at something more recent. Spoilers for Season 2 of The Mandalorian if you care about that. At the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, we see a deepfake of a young Luke Skywalker show up to take Baby Yoda away. However, there's something off about him. His face displays almost no emotion whatsoever. This combination of a human face with no emotion places it nicely in the uncanny valley, where something looks almost perfectly human, yet something off about it sets off distress signals in the brain. This is where most comical deepfakes online end up. For example, the Dame Dane meme from July of 2020, where a single picture was deepfaked into karaokeing a song from the game Yakuza 5. The reason these look so different obviously pertains to the photos chosen, but it also helps us to see how deepfakes work. So the word deepfake actually has a few different sources depending on where you look. The term was coined in 2017 when Reddit user Deepfakes created a subreddit for deepfaking female celebrities into pornography. However, most sources today will tell you that it's a combination of deep learning and fake. In deep learning, deep refers to the multiple levels of processing going on, each doing a different function. Together, these layers are able to take inputs put into the AI and make something else out of it. To do this, you simply need computer software like Deepface Lab, tutorials on YouTube, and references for the AI. It's that simple to start making fake videos. To keep it brief on how it works, because even I don't fully understand, the program operates using two different deep learning algorithms called VAEs. One algorithm gets trained on a large variety of faces, while the other algorithm gets trained on the face of the person that you want to deepfake into the video. For example, example, let's say you wanted to deepfake Kanye West into one of Russell Wilson's press conferences. Go Hawks. All you'd need to do for this is get a bunch of pictures of Kanye's face, which shouldn't be that hard to do, and you need a video of Russell Wilson's press conference. Once these algorithms get trained, they simply get merged, and behold, Rusye Wisp. However, that's just the video side. When it comes to audio, technology's still a little lacking right now. Deep Face Lab only deepfakes the video, so Rusye Wisp still sounds just like Russell Wilson. Even in the Dame Dane memes, the whole point of the meme is that it's the picture singing the song. So, if you want your deepfake to have a voice, your best option right now is going to be to get a voice impressionist. But what if you can't do the voice, or if you don't have money? Well, lucky for you, there are artificial intelligence programs trying to clone voices. Stuff like Resemble AI, where you consent to getting your voice cloned and uploading it to the cloud. Adobe was developing a program called Voco, but they canceled it because they had ethical concerns. In terms of free solutions, after I searched deepfake audio on YouTube, I was able to find something in about 5 seconds. So the problem with deepfaking audio is that it's incredibly difficult to accurately mimic human speech. There's a lot of components to it, like the rate at which somebody speaks, the subtle intonations in their voice, emotions, all that stuff. So as of right now, for cloning voices, it'll either sound like Siri, or it has this uncanny aspect where it's almost there, but it still has this tinny robotic sound to it.
I am the best actor wrestler and a superstar.
So how did Moon Disaster do it so well? I think it has to deal with the fact that they were trying to mimic a broadcast from 1969. Throughout the recording, there's this heavy static, which was even present in the material used to train the AI, which really helps cover up any of those tinny imperfections that we were talking about a second ago. But maybe it's a good thing that we're having difficulty in mimicking the voices of people. Why should any institution, or Joe Schmo, or just anybody be able to manipulate the words that come out of somebody else's mouth? As I mentioned earlier, deepfakes are the future of misinformation. While right now all we have to deal with is fake tweets or fake screenshots, what happens in a couple years when someone's able to deepfake a video of a certain far-right extremist calling for the overthrowing of a democratic government? Or what if somebody deepfakes military invasion plans? The most concerning part is the government likely already has the processing power and the money to do that. Look what Disney did, and they're only a movie studio with only a couple $1 million to throw at this in terms of budget. What can the CIA do with $15 billion? And on a smaller scale, what can any individual person with a computer do with this technology? It's porn. It's lots of porn. When this technology was first being pioneered on Reddit, the immediate thought of Redditors was, how can I make creepy, unconsenting porn with this? Fakes of female celebrities quickly began to spread outside of Reddit and onto other sites such as Pornhub, where of course they were tagged as stolen or hacked, like the 2014 iCloud leaks, which I understand have another name, but I'd rather not say it because I'm really trying to take this video seriously. The deepfake subreddit swelled to over 90,000 users before it was shut down by Reddit for involuntary pornography. In February 2018, Pornhub banned deepfake porn, while Twitter and Discord soon followed suit. It's just celebrities, right? Celebrities who have hundreds of thousands of pictures of their face online for anybody to Google and use in a deepfake, right? Well, what if one day, for shits and giggles, you decide to run a reverse image search of your Facebook profile picture? And what if that reverse image search turned up a pornographic video of you? Except you've never made pornography because you've just turned 18. This is what happened to Noelle Martin, whose selfies were ripped off of her social media platforms and spread to various other websites. What happens if someone just decides to fake revenge porn of you just because they don't like you? A 2016 study says 1 in 25 Americans has been the victim of revenge porn. 1 in 10 women under 30 have had revenge porn threatened against them. So, in an era where literally anybody can rip pictures off of your social media platforms and use it to make fake revenge porn of you, how much are those rates going to go up? And more importantly, why are there no laws regarding revenge porn in Massachusetts, South Carolina, Missouri, and Wyoming? With the rate at which deepfakes are improving, deepfaking public officials with the intent to misinform or creating deepfake pornography should be illegal. But at what point is the United States government willing to step in and make it a crime? In 2019, a bill was introduced to Congress that would have required a digital watermark and a visual and audio disclosure that a video had modified video or audio elements. However, the bill died in committee. So, if the government won't step in to help with the deepfake problem, what are companies and individuals doing to help? Of all companies, Facebook started a deepfake detection program. This was an open initiative where 2,000 participants trained AI models to detect deepfakes and other manipulated media. Against a public dataset, the top model from this initiative had a detection rate of 82%. Other solutions include Operation Minerva, which uses digital fingerprinting to cross-analyze deepfake porn videos with a collection of porn videos in its database. It also adds the deepfake video to its database so it can take it down on other websites. Even with all of this, it's not enough. At the 2021 WAVC conference, it was shown that inputs called adversarial examples can cause deepfake detection AIs to make mistakes. When using these adversarial example deepfakes against deepfake detection AIs, their rate of success was 99% on uncompressed videos and 83.24% compressed videos. Deepfakes are bad. Deepfake detection's not ready yet. Public officials won't do anything. What can we do? It really comes down to media sources. We need to be able to trust our news and our media sources, but when 56% of Americans agree with the statement, journalists and reporters are purposely trying to mislead people by saying things they know are false or gross exaggerations, and 58% of Americans think that most news organizations are more concerned with supporting an ideology or political position than informing the public. It's a little hard to trust them. Even if you try to go online for your news, online media is a cesspool of clickbait and exaggerations trying to get you to visit a website. Since old media is on its way out, it's trying to fight with the internet for relevance, so it's stooping to that low of just exaggerations to make sure you tune in and watch. And there's definitely a cultural problem in the United States where people no longer want to accept science for answers. In my last video, I talked about things that humans have sent off of the planet to theoretical extraterrestrial life. At no point did I ever mention whether or not extraterrestrial life exists, but I still had dumbasses like this in my comments section. I removed it because this is just wrong. Since 2016, a certain man has been leading a crusade against fake news. But all this did was allow fake news to spread. The media will have to work very hard with respected individuals in order to gain back the trust and respect of the public. My name's Brandon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.
Living off borrowed time, the clock tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly and Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfighter, they come to cut the mix master. ICE cold, nice to be old. Y2G Steve twice to threefold. He sold scrolls, low and behold.